It's called a back peg wheel. If you have one back peg and you have a nice place you can ride, this is a pretty easy, simple thing to do. I learned this when I was like 7 years old. Watch this. How's that? Back peg wheel. The next thing I'll show you guys, this is a lot harder. I learned this when I was about 17 years old. I call this a nose wheel. Now, actually, let me back up for a second. There's a stunt that I learned when I was about maybe like 12 years old. It's called an endo. And what it is, you stop the bike, you lift the back end up, and you put it back down. I'll show you. All right, this is called an endo. All right. And I got the idea from the rolling nose wheelie from doing that. I said, wouldn't it be cool if I could roll and do that? So here's what I came up with. Watch this. How's that? That's my new wheel. Alright, watch this. This is my favorite wheelie of all. I love this thing. This is called a moonwalk. Let me know if you like my moonwalk. I used to call it the Michael Jackson, but then that got it's weird. Let me know if you like it. Here's my moonwalk. Okay. The next stunt that I want to show you is my favorite stunt. You guys want to see my favorite stunt? I'll never forget, I was asked this maybe, I don't know, it was like 2004. A reporter on ESPN sat me down at the desk and he said to me, he goes, Chris, if you could do one stunt, and this is the last stunt that you can ever do, and then you have to put your bike down forever, what stunt would you choose? This is the one I would choose. I love this stunt. It's called a hitchhiker. Now, it's funny because, you know, I mean, I can ride ramps, I can do jumps and stuff. For some reason, I always like the feeling of rolling. So, like, you know, I guess it's the difference between whether you want to be a hockey player or a figure skater. You know, you get different feelings from things. I like the feeling of rolling. I like the feeling of complex, complicated moves. This is a very complicated move. Now, I got the idea from this from the nose wheelie. Because once I started doing nose wheelies, everybody copied it. I said, let me do something that nobody's going to be able to copy. There's probably like 5 kids in the world that have ever been able to do this. I call this stunt a hitchhiker. It took me 7 years to learn how to do it. All right, let me know if you guys like my hitchhiker. Watch this. Wow. How's that? Thank you, thank you. Now, of course, the hardest thing of most stunts is not getting into them, getting back on the bike. Let's see if I can do that for you today. How's that?